Easter in America is a strange balancing act. On one side, solemn hymns, resurrection stories, and pastel church outfits. On the other, 10-foot inflatable rabbits, rave-lit egg hunts, and bacon-woven baskets. It's the only holiday where you can go from reenacting ancient scripture to microwaving Peeps until they explode. This is Easter in the US. Awkwardly sacred, aggressively sugary, and deeply chaotic in the best way possible. 1. Easter is the second biggest candy-selling holiday in the US, right behind Halloween. We're talking over $3 billion spent on sugar-coated chaos. Parents frantically assemble baskets like it's a covert operation, and 90 million chocolate bunnies are devoured, most before noon. Honestly, Easter breakfast in America is basically 90% chocolate and 10% guilt. 2. In 2019, someone robbed a Walgreens while dressed as the Easter Bunny, and no one questioned it at first. The suspect casually wandered in, snatched some merchandise, and bounced out. Literally. Employees thought it was a holiday prank. Turns out, it was a felony wrapped in fake fur and seasonal cheer. Florida, of course. 3. Some of the earliest Easter Bunny costumes in America looked less like friendly mascots and more like nightmare fuel. Department stores in the 1930s and 40s dressed their staff in horrifying rabbit suits that seemed custom-made to traumatize children for life. Google them if you dare. Those bunnies didn't come to deliver eggs. They came for your soul. 4. Giant inflatable Easter bunnies on front lawns have become a suburban arms race. One neighbor gets a 6-foot bunny, and suddenly the next has an 18-foot inflatable beast wearing sunglasses. It's festive. It's terrifying. And it's proof that HOA rules were made to be broken. 5. Target once sold a bunny meat product in the Easter section by mistake. Turns out it was just rabbit-flavored dog treats, but people thought it was actual Easter bunny meat. And social media exploded. Lesson learned: maybe double-check your product placement during bunny season. 6. The Easter Bunny is actually an immigrant, and not even originally a bunny. He came to the US via German settlers in the 1700s as the Osterhase, a mythical egg-laying hare. Over time, this magical fertility symbol was Americanized into a commercial icon who delivers candy. Classic US move. Take folklore, add sugar, sell it in bulk. 7. In New York City, Easter isn't just about church, it's about fashion. The Fifth Avenue Easter Parade is where people strut their stuff in wild outfits, towering bonnets, and full-on springtime couture. Think Sunday Mass meets runway show, with a splash of glitter and possibly a live duck or two. 8. In 2023, a drone-delivered Easter egg hunt went wrong in Utah when the GPS glitched. Eggs rained down on the wrong backyard, terrifying a group of elderly knitters who thought the rapture had begun. No injuries, just some rattled cardigans and one woman who kept a peep for evidence. 9. In several southern states, Easter sunrise services are held in cemeteries. The idea is to celebrate resurrection where death usually looms, but for visitors, it might feel like the start of a horror film. Still, there's something hauntingly beautiful about singing hymns as the sun rises among headstones in Spanish moss. 10. The largest Easter egg hunt ever recorded took place in Winter Haven, Florida, with over 500,000 eggs. That's 500,000 plastic eggs scattered across fields in what must have looked like candy-coated chaos. Imagine toddlers diving like linebackers, adults accidentally elbowing each other, and one grandpa finding a 2007 leftover egg and calling it a win. 11. The first U.S. chocolate eggs were produced in the early 1900s by, surprise, pharmacists. Back then, many drugstores made and sold homemade chocolates alongside medicine. So yes, you could get cough syrup and a cocoa egg in the same place. Healing body and soul, one sweet at a time. 12. In the 1980s, McDonald's tried selling Easter-themed Happy Meals with plastic eggs that kids choked on. The idea was simple: put a toy in an egg. The result? A massive recall. Turns out combining small plastic capsules with excited toddlers was not the golden idea they thought it was. 13. Not all American kids hunt eggs in backyards. Some do it underwater. Aquariums across the U.S. host underwater. Easter egg hunts where divers in bunny suits plant plastic eggs among fish tanks. Imagine explaining that to a sea turtle. Relax, Carl, it's just seasonal capitalism. 14. In some U.S. towns, they dye rivers instead of eggs. In places like San Antonio, the Riverwalk gets filled with brightly colored floating eggs and festive rafts. It's half parade, half liquid rainbow, and 100% proof that Americans will dye anything that doesn't move. 15. In the 1950s, you could mail real dyed eggs through the U.S. Postal Service. No packaging, no box, just slap a stamp and an address right on the shell. Mail carriers reportedly hated this with their whole soul. Can't blame them. Who wants to deliver breakfast roulette? 16. Every Easter, Americans buy over 16 billion jelly beans. Yes, billion with a B. That's enough to go around the earth 3 times if you lined them up end to end. And while there are tons of wild flavors out there, guess what wins as the most popular? Black licorice. Really, America? Somewhere, a disappointed watermelon-flavored jelly bean is crying in a bag. 17. Americans spend an average of $170 per person on Easter. On what exactly? No one really knows. Between baskets, brunch, matching family outfits, and overpriced seasonal decor, it's shockingly easy to drop a small fortune celebrating an empty tomb and a bunny. 18. In Seattle, an annual Easter egg art show features eggs painted to resemble celebrities, politicians, and pop culture icons. Past hits include Beyoncé Egginsay, Eggy Gaga, and Egg Sheeran. One year, someone made a full carton of the Eggvengers. I mean, they cracked it. 19. Some towns use helicopters to drop Easter eggs, because apparently gravity isn't festive enough. Mega churches and local communities stage egg drops, where thousands of plastic eggs rain from the sky. Kids go feral. Parents film everything. Chickens file defamation lawsuits. 20. Americans love dressing up their pets for Easter. Bunnies, bonnets, tiny chick hats. It's all fair game. According to pet industry reports, over $20 million is spent on Easter costumes for animals. Meanwhile, cats everywhere plot their slow revenge. 21. One man in Texas owns the world's largest collection of Easter-related items, over 9,000 pieces. From vintage baskets to rare bunny dolls, it's basically the Smithsonian of springtime kitsch. Friends say it started as a hobby. Therapists might call it aggressively festive hoarding. 22. In Louisiana, Easter baskets sometimes come filled with cracklins and crawfish instead of candy. Yep, it's a thing. While most kids are unwrapping chocolate eggs, Cajun Country is serving up spicy crustaceans. Honestly, might be the better deal. 23. Egg knocking is a fierce Easter competition in parts of the South. It's like arm wrestling, but with hard-boiled eggs. 2 people tap their eggs together until one cracks. The winner is crowned Egg King, or at least gets bragging rights until breakfast. 24. Walmart sells more marshmallow chicks than real ones during Easter season. For every fluffy farm-born peep, there are thousands of sugary ones being devoured in American homes. Somewhere, a real chick is side-eyeing this entire holiday. 25. Some churches perform live crucifixion reenactments on Easter, and yes, it gets intense. In places like San Antonio and Los Angeles, volunteers act out the entire Passion story, sometimes complete with Roman costumes and fake blood. It's dramatic, moving, and very rated PG-13 for spiritual violence. 26. You've heard of Elf on the Shelf, but have you met Peep on a Perch? Yep, it's a real thing. Some genius decided to Easterify the creepy Christmas tradition by creating a plush Peep that watches kids to make sure they're behaving before the bunny arrives. Because nothing says wholesome holiday joy like soft marshmallow surveillance. 27. Easter Monday is barely a thing in most of the US, unless you're in the South or the White House. While most Americans head back to work, select Southern schools and government offices take it off. Meanwhile, the White House keeps the party rolling with its traditional egg roll. Everyone else? Back to emails and regret. 28. Detroit hosts an annual Easter bonnet contest where dogs are the models. We're talking full runway vibes, floppy hats, frilly lace, and one very confused pug named Sir Hops-a-Lot. It's adorable, chaotic, and somehow more organized than most human fashion shows. 29. Some American families prank each other by hiding hard-boiled onions instead of eggs. The smell gives it away fast, but by then, it's too late. One grandpa allegedly wrapped a raw potato in gold foil and told his grandkids it was the egg of destiny. That's not a prank. That's generational comedy. 30. Chocolate eggs were originally marketed in the US as an elegant gift for adults. Forget baskets for toddlers. These were fancy, foil-wrapped delicacies sold in upscale shops. Somewhere along the line, the elegance vanished and got replaced with plastic grass and screaming children. 31. There's a town in Indiana that hosts an adult-only glow-in-the-dark egg hunt, complete with beer prizes. This isn't your grandma's Easter celebration. It's more rave than religious. Imagine a field full of grown-ups stumbling around with glow sticks, fueled by light-up eggs and bad decisions. 32. The White House Easter egg roll might sound like a sacred tradition, but it actually started as a workaround. In 1878, President Rutherford B. Hayes saved the day after Congress banned kids from rolling eggs on Capitol Hill, because grass is apparently more important than joy. Hayes just moved the fun to his own backyard. Boom. Presidential loophole. Since then, the White House lawn has hosted generations of tiny humans armed with pastel-colored eggs and questionable coordination. 33. Some American bakeries go rogue and make Easter pizza. That's right, cheese, sauce, and toppings. But shaped like eggs or bunnies. Because apparently if it's vaguely seasonal, it belongs in your mouth. Taste-wise? Mixed reviews. Aesthetic-wise? Instagram gold. 34. The phrase Easter Parade didn't start with NYC, it started in Hollywood. The 1948 film Easter Parade starring Judy Garland and Fred Astaire helped popularize the idea of dressing to the nines and walking like you've got nothing to prove except a very large hat. 35. In Hawaii, Easter often includes a fusion of local and traditional foods, like Spam, sushi, and baskets. Yes, Spam. It's a legit delicacy there, and during Easter it often replaces ham or candy. Don't knock it till you try it. That little rice rectangle might change your life. 36. Some US schools host egg toss competitions that quickly descend into chaos. You start with careful throws and laughter, and end with one kid sobbing, another coated in yolk, and the janitor contemplating retirement. Wholesome educational bonding. 37. Cadbury eggs were originally banned in the US for trademark reasons. For years, Americans only had access to knockoff versions while the UK hoarded the real deal. Thankfully, Cadbury found a loophole and now floods American shelves every spring with gooey chocolate goodness, and we are forever grateful. 38. A man in Wisconsin makes Easter baskets entirely out of bacon. We're talking woven bacon strips, bacon grass, bacon-wrapped chocolate eggs. He calls it Meester. The local fire department calls it a grease trap in ribbon form. But hey, the smell? Incredible. 39. One man in Georgia paints hundreds of real eggs by hand each Easter, using only a toothpick. He's turned it into an annual tradition and mini tourist attraction. The designs are so detailed they make Fabergé look lazy. And no, he doesn't use a magnifying glass, just vibes and steady hands. 40. A whopping 76% of Americans start eating their chocolate bunnies by biting the ears first, which means about 1 in 4 people are out here starting with the feet or tail. Who hurt you? Do you also open bags of chips upside down? We're not judging. Okay, maybe a little. 41. In many American towns, community centers host Easter egg hunts with golden eggs that include cash prizes. While most kids find plastic eggs with stickers or candy, one lucky participant might walk away with a crisp $20 or even a $100 bill. Of course, that usually triggers full-on competitive madness, with parents accidentally knocking toddlers aside like it's a pastel version of the Hunger Games. 42. Despite Easter's religious roots, more Americans today associate it with bunnies than the resurrection of Jesus. Surveys consistently show that a majority of US adults link Easter with family meals, candy, and egg hunts before they think of the religious side. It's a holiday that's been heavily commercialized. Jesus walks, but the bunny runs marketing. 43. The US has an unofficial Easter candy hierarchy, and it gets weirdly competitive online every year. Fans argue passionately about the superiority of Reese's eggs over Cadbury creme eggs, while others defend the humble jelly bean. Some folks even create March Madness-style brackets for their favorite Easter treats, because why not turn sugary childhood nostalgia into full-on internet war? 44. In Alaska, where spring arrives fashionably late, indoor Easter activities are taken to another level. Since snow often still covers the ground in April, many communities swap outdoor hunts for egg tosses, crafts, and even bunny-themed snowshoe races inside gyms. Imagine 40 kids bunny hopping on frozen ground in parkas. That's Easter, Alaskan style. 45. Pastel colors dominate Easter marketing in the US, and it's not just for aesthetics, it's psychology. Brands use soft pinks, blues, yellows, and greens because they're linked to childhood, warmth, and renewal. And let's be real, even grown adults are more likely to buy candy wrapped in baby blue foil. It's emotional manipulation, and it totally works. 46. Many American grocery stores now offer pre-made Easter baskets, and some cost over $1,000. These ultra-deluxe versions are filled with designer chocolates, plush toys, name-brand gadgets, and sometimes, bizarrely, gourmet cheese. Because nothing says, "He is risen," like aged brie, and Bluetooth earbuds in the same basket. 47. In cities with large immigrant populations, Easter gets creatively hybridized with cultural traditions. For example, in Filipino-American communities, Salubong, a dawn reenactment of the resurrection, is performed alongside American-style egg hunts. It's not unusual to see a statue of Mary meeting a risen Jesus, followed by kids sprinting toward candy behind the church. 48. The Easter Bunny has become so iconic in the US that malls now compete for the best version of him. Some go all out with elaborate sets, live bunnies, and even interactive digital experiences. It's like Santa's mall takeover, but with more pink and slightly more confused children, especially when the bunny starts breakdancing. 49. Some American cemeteries host eggs and afterlife tours on Easter weekend. Guests walk through graveyards while guides tell stories of historical burials, ending with an egg hunt among the tombstones. It's part history, part celebration, part horror movie opening sequence. And yes, people love it. 50. In many US households, egg dyeing is a serious family ritual, complete with rules, rankings, and sometimes sabotage. Some families turn it into an annual competition with awards for most creative, ugliest, or looks accidentally haunted. Tensions rise, dye spills. Siblings accuse each other of espionage. It's wholesome, with a hint of chaos. 51. Easter-themed movies haven't caught on in the US the way Christmas ones have, and Hollywood knows it. Studios have tried launching animated bunny adventures and spiritual epics, but none have reached classic status. Turns out, Americans are happy with their holiday bunnies staying silent and their messiahs off the big screen. For now. 52. US airports see a major travel spike during Easter weekend, especially for egg-cations. Many families use the long weekend to take quick trips to theme parks, family reunions, or sunny getaways. Airlines even advertise Easter travel deals because nothing says resurrection like sitting in row 34C, holding a melting chocolate rabbit in TSA. 53. In some American towns, the Easter Bunny arrives by fire truck, boat, or even parachute. Forget sleighs, this bunny's got style. Small-town parades go all out, delivering their rabbit mascot in the most dramatic fashion possible. Is it logical? Not at all. Is it unforgettable? Every single time. 54. US Easter brunches are a big deal, often rivaling Thanksgiving in effort and calories. From glazed ham to deviled eggs, cheesy casseroles, pancakes, and mimosas, it's a carb-heavy celebration that requires both stretchy pants and a post-meal nap. And don't forget the weird aunt who brings a Jell-O salad no one touches. 55. For many American families, Easter is one of the only holidays that blends sacred tradition with total silliness. You go from singing hymns in a solemn church service to watching your uncle in a bunny onesie trip over a lawn chair during an egg hunt. That bizarre combo is exactly what makes Easter in the US so uniquely entertaining. 56. Peeps, those neon-colored sugar birds, are bought by the billions every Easter. Some people eat them, others microwave them just to watch the puffed-up explosion. They're divisive, weirdly indestructible, and practically the Twinkie of Easter. Love them or loathe them, they've become a holiday staple, and possibly a building material in the near future. 57. Many American churches use real animals for their Easter services, including live donkeys and lambs. It's meant to symbolize biblical stories, but it doesn't always go as planned. One church in Ohio had a donkey wander mid-sermon and loudly relieve itself near the altar. The message? Even during holy moments, nature stays undefeated. 58. Dollar stores across the U.S. experience a seasonal boom every Easter thanks to budget baskets. Parents load up on plastic eggs, neon grass, and discount candy, all while dodging the temptation of off-brand chocolate bunnies that look like they've seen things. And for under $20, you too can traumatize your child with a slightly melted marshmallow lamb. 59. The U.S. Postal Service now offers Easter-themed stamps featuring bunnies, flowers, and baskets. While fewer people send holiday cards these days, those who do can make their envelopes scream, "I own seasonal stationery." Also, nothing says resurrection joy like licking a bunny's back to stick it on a letter. 60. In some U.S. families, Easter includes hiding not just candy, but weird, non-edible surprises inside eggs. From chore coupons to glitter bombs to tiny jars of hot sauce, the creativity, or pettiness, knows no bounds. One dad reportedly put mini notes with dad jokes in each egg. That's not a gift. That's psychological warfare. 61. In California, certain Easter egg hunts are strictly vegan and eco-friendly. Because of course they are. No plastic, no candy, no animal products. Just hand-painted wooden eggs, fair trade trail mix, and organic good vibes. Honestly, if an oat milk latte were a holiday, this would be it. 62. Some American radio stations run Easter call-in contests with absurd prizes. One Kansas station once gave away a year's supply of deviled eggs, which, if you think about it, is a reward and a digestive threat rolled into one. Imagine explaining that to your doctor. "No, I don't like them, I just won them." 63. Churches that livestream. Easter services now often have custom bunny filters available for kids. Yep, while the pastor preaches, kids at home can slap on virtual bunny ears and eggs, raining from the sky. Because nothing says he is risen, like augmented reality distractions and candy-bribed reverence. 64. American retirement homes often hold Easter crafts and hunts for seniors, and we're here for it. Picture a squad of grandmas with baskets, fiercely competing over pastel eggs filled with Werther's and bingo coupons. It's wholesome, it's competitive, it's better than cable. 65. In Florida, an Easter bunny was once arrested during a bar fight. You read that right. A man in a full bunny costume broke up a brawl, threw some punches, and went viral. No charges were filed, but somewhere out there, a kid still thinks the Easter bunny moonlights as a bouncer. 66. Easter-themed home decor in the U.S. now rivals Halloween and Christmas. Americans deck out their homes with pastel wreaths, bunny garlands, chick statues, and more. Some even install full Easter villages on mantles. At this point, the only thing missing is an animatronic crucifixion scene, and someone out there is probably working on it. 67. Some American libraries offer silent egg hunts for neurodivergent kids. No loud noises, no chaos, just soft lighting, calm music, and eggs hidden in peaceful nooks. It's a beautiful shift toward inclusive celebrations, where every child gets the chance to enjoy the magic without sensory overload. 68. U.S. influencers have turned Easter into a branding goldmine. From "What's in my basket" videos to pastel product placements and designer egg dyeing kits, the holiday's now a curated Instagram experience. Apparently, nothing screams authenticity like a $90 custom ceramic bunny shot in golden hour lighting. 69. Certain American megachurches spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on Easter productions. Full-light shows, special effects, pyrotechnics, even live animals and fake tombs on stage. You walk in expecting a sermon and leave wondering if you just saw The Passion of the Christ directed by Michael Bay. 70. In some parts of the Midwest, snow is still falling on Easter, so they just roll with it. Literal snow bunny hunts, egg dyeing in parkas, and chocolate bunnies chilled to perfection. One Minnesota town even built a snow slide shaped like an Easter egg. If spring won't come to Easter, Easter just goes full frozen. 71. Church attendance spikes by nearly 80% on Easter Sunday. That's more than Christmas. It's the one day even folks with dust-covered Bibles show up in pressed shirts and pretend not to notice the guy who only came for the post-service donuts. 72. A church in Texas once hired a local CrossFit team to act out the Passion story in full slow-motion choreography. The crucifixion scene included burpees. Jesus did a handstand dismount from the cross. People cried, but from confusion. Still, it trended on TikTok for a week. 73. In 2022, a woman in Tennessee sued her HOA for banning her 10-foot inflatable Easter unicorn. The HOA said it wasn't in the spirit of the holiday. She said, "You've clearly never met a festive unicorn." The case got dropped, but the inflatable gained local legend status. Justice for Sparklehorn. 74. Someone once tried to sell blessed Easter grass on eBay for $49.99 a handful. They claimed it was prayed over by 3 pastors and could increase your egg-finding luck. No word on whether anyone bought it, but we all know someone who would've. 75. There's a US bar that hosts an annual Drunken Bunny Hop Crawl, complete with costume contest and Jell-O egg shots. The event encourages patrons to dress like bunnies, hop between bars, and totally forget the spiritual meaning of the holiday. Somewhere, your Sunday school teacher is weeping into a mimosa. 76. One Texas man holds the record for the most Easter eggs balanced on the back of his hand. 18. Why? Unclear. But he trained for weeks, used only real eggs, and proudly announced he did it for the glory of breakfast. America, where even Easter becomes an extreme sport. 77. In 1998, a small-town mayor got stuck inside a giant papier-mâché Easter egg during a parade. It was supposed to be a grand reveal. He'd pop out and wave to the crowd. But the hatch jammed, and he was trapped inside for 25 minutes while a marching band awkwardly looped "Here Comes Peter Cottontail." 78. A Las Vegas casino once ran an adult-only Easter scavenger hunt, with prizes like free slot play and champagne. The clues were hidden inside giant eggs spread across the gaming floor. It ended with a conga line led by a showgirl bunny and a guy in a tuxedo holding a bottle of rosé. Sin never sleeps, not even on Easter. 79. In Arizona, one resort offers Easter Bunny Yoga. Picture a tranquil outdoor session where guests stretch, breathe, and balance, while a dude in a full bunny suit silently does warrior poses nearby. Is it relaxing? Maybe. Is it unsettling? Absolutely. 80. A woman in Ohio was banned from her church's Easter choir for sneaking in a kazoo. She claimed it added a whimsical, joyful flair to the hymn. The choir director said it added chaos. We may never know the truth, but somewhere there's footage of amazing grace with kazoo harmony. 81. One Michigan family accidentally hard-boiled plastic eggs filled with dollar bills. Grandma didn't realize some were fake and tossed the whole tray into boiling water. The eggs melted, the money fused, and a family heirloom story was born. The moral? Never trust a multitasking grandma near a stove on Easter Eve. 82. There's a niche community of collectors in the US who trade vintage Easter candy wrappers. We're talking 1950s marshmallow chick packaging and chocolate bunny boxes in mint condition. Some are worth hundreds. It's sweet nostalgia, literally. And yes, they judge you if you've ever torn a wrapper. 83. A Colorado artist once carved a life-size Easter bunny sculpture entirely out of expired Peeps. It took 800 Peeps, a glue gun, and what we assume was a strong tolerance for sugar fumes. The final piece melted slightly under gallery lights, giving the bunny a horrifying grin that haunts local children to this day. 84. In one infamous Easter disaster, a shipment of chocolate bunnies melted on an airport tarmac and fused into a solid 500-pound chocolate slab. Workers had to jackhammer it apart and reported, "The whole terminal smelled like heartbreak and Hershey's." TSA called it a hazmat-adjacent delicious event. 85. In 2021, someone started an Easter-themed OnlyFans called The Honey Bunny, featuring tasteful bunny content and chocolate-themed photo shoots. It was part parody, part branding genius, and part "what even is this country anymore?" It gained 30,000 followers in 2 weeks. The bunny economy is real and thirsty. 86. In one small Illinois town, the local hardware store gives out power tools instead of candy for their Easter egg raffle. One lucky 7-year-old once won a cordless drill. His smile said, "Awesome." His parents' eyes said, "Lawsuit waiting to happen." Welcome to rural America, where even bunnies believe in DIY. 87. A U.S. tattoo parlor once offered free Easter-themed tattoos, if you let them pick the design. You'd sit blindfolded, and they'd ink you with a surprise chick, bunny, or pastel egg. Some walked away with cute ink. Others got angry marshmallow with a knife. That's the gamble, baby. Happy Easter. 88. There's a haunted house in Pennsylvania that transforms into a twisted Easter scare hunt. Kids have to brave dark corridors, zombie bunnies, and bloodied peeps to earn their candy. It's basically Halloween's evil cousin wearing bunny ears. Parents call it traumatizing. Teens call it awesome. Everyone else? Scarred for life. 89. In 2005, a South Carolina man tried to bribe a mall Easter bunny to say his kid was the favorite. He handed over $20 and whispered, "Just make him feel special, man." The bunny said no. The man was escorted out. The kid? Now probably in therapy. 90. One Easter brunch buffet in Vegas included sushi shaped like bunnies and champagne poured from a giant chocolate fountain. Sounds elegant, until you realize the sushi rice started melting in the cocoa mist and a guy dropped his phone into the chocolate waterfall trying to film it. A true American Easter tale. 91. Some U.S. conspiracy theorists believe the Easter bunny is a marketing psyop. According to a few deep Reddit dives, the bunny was invented by Big Sugar to push candy sales, distract from religious roots, and indoctrinate kids into consumerism. Honestly, not the wildest theory floating around here. 92. An animal shelter in Kentucky lets people rent a bunny for Easter weekend, then strongly encourages returning it. The idea? Get the photo ops, the fluff, the fun, then hand it back before you realize how much hay one rabbit can destroy. It's like an Airbnb for cuteness, minus the deposit. 93. The oldest known Easter egg still in existence in the U.S. is a hand-painted wooden one from 1879. It lives in a museum in Massachusetts and was part of a Victorian Easter basket. The artwork is still intact, but let's be honest, it probably smells like antique attic and regret. 94. In Los Angeles, one Easter event included a chick-petting zoo that turned into an accidental chicken liberation. Kids opened cages faster than staff could blink, and 47 baby chicks made a break for freedom. Chaos, laughter, feathers, the great escape. Somewhere, a rooster still tells the tale. 95. A man in Oregon bakes anatomically correct chocolate bunnies for science. That's his official reasoning anyway. Each piece is modeled after real rabbit anatomy and labeled with edible diagrams. Educational? Sure. Delicious? Maybe. Unsettling? Oh yes, it's like biology class met Willy Wonka and made it weird. 96. Every year, a Kansas town hosts an Easter tug-of-war across a literal river. Teams compete from either bank, standing knee-deep in mud while spectators cheer and sometimes get splashed with flying chocolate eggs. It's athletic, absurd, and exactly the type of thing you'd expect from a town with no movie theater. 97. A U.S. novelty store once sold Easter confessional booths, inflatable tents where kids could confess to stealing candy. Inside was a recording of a priest-like voice that responded with forgiveness or sarcasm. You ate 5 Peeps before breakfast? Bold move, my child. Needless to say, they were discontinued after one holiday season, and one complaint from a very real priest. 98. One retired U.S. Army veteran organizes military-style Easter drills for kids. Think obstacle courses, crawling under string barbed wire, and tossing plastic eggs into enemy baskets. It's adorable chaos, and the most intense way to earn a jelly bean this side of boot camp. 99. A library in New York City once hosted a Peep diorama contest, and someone recreated The Godfather entirely in marshmallow form. There were sugar cannolis, Peep Vito Corleone, even a tiny cotton candy horse head. It didn't win, but it should've. Leave the jelly beans. Take the cannoli. 100. An American YouTuber once tried to deep fry 101 Easter items, including Peeps, chocolate crosses, and plastic eggs. He ended up with a smoking garage, a minor burn, and what he described as a crispy abomination. But the video hit 4 million views, which proves, on Easter, as in life, chaos chunker clicks. 101. One U.S. man legally changed his name to Peter Cottontail, and now performs weddings dressed as a giant bunny. Based in Nevada, he offers Easter-themed elopements that include egg bouquets, marshmallow cake, and bunny vows. It's weirdly popular. He even signs the marriage license with a paw stamp. So yeah, while the rest of the world paints eggs and goes to church, America's out here deep-frying Peeps, launching eggs from drones, and turning Jesus into CrossFit choreography. You can call it blasphemy, brilliance, or just brunch with extra steps. But you can't say it's boring. Now it's your turn. What's the weirdest Easter thing you've ever seen? Drop it in the comments, and if it involves bacon, glitter, or an inflatable Jesus, we need to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe. See you!